Hi, everyone. When I was first offered to deliver a speech here today at TEDx, I was extremely excited. I thought, what a great opportunity. I really want to do this. But then I heard the voice of my critic who said, really? Aichurek, are you sure you are the one to be talking about balance? Aren't you the one who got the huge burnout yourself before? But then I replied to my critic saying, well, yeah, maybe I am the right person to be talking about it. Because exactly, I got burned out myself, which means that I know what it is, I know why it happens, I know how to avoid it, and I know how to get out of it by taking the most out of it. The last one might have surprised you, but the thing is that now, analyzing that experience, I understood that that was the biggest blessing in my life that turned out to be the key to my personal and professional growth aftermath. Currently, I'm the head of HR at a large international company, and I lead the projects targeted at the well-being of our employees. Unfortunately, growing burnout, increasing mental health issues in the workforce are today's reality for many, many large international companies. So burnout is an epidemic, and the World Health Organization has reclassified burnout from the general state of exhaustion to a definable syndrome. As you see from this graph, which was the research that was conducted by Gallup, where 7,500 employees took part, 21% of them said they burn out very often, while almost 50% said that they burn out sometimes. All above mentioned made me want to deep dive into the topic of burnout even more, so I also wrote my MBA dissertation about it, and I defined 3 main reasons of burnout, and I will be sharing them with you today. But before that, I would like to share my own story. This is me 4 years ago. I have a question for you. Do I look happy at these photos? Yeah? Well, I was not. I was lost, anxious, and extremely miserable. I realized that things were not okay when I, the biggest fan of traveling, nature, and music, just stopped enjoying it. I left abroad for a vacation, hoping that it will help me, but it didn't either. Now I realize that that horrible condition was caused by value conflicts with my employer back then, and most importantly, by the desperate need for growth. So I needed a change, and my gut was telling me to be brave and go for it. And turns out, it was right. In the beginning of 2021, I quit my job in the middle of the pandemic. I didn't know what I want to do next, but I knew one thing for sure. I want to do something of my own. I felt like I still needed some guidance and mentorship, so I started looking for a mentor. There was a lady that I was following on social media for a long time. She runs a few successful businesses. She's beautiful, she's smart, and I felt like we had some things in common. I felt like we were both passionate, goal-oriented, and we both had growth mindset. So I sent her a message. I just said, hi, would you like to mentor me? And she said, hey, yeah, let's meet. Let's discuss that. So we've met, and since I didn't have a financial income by then, we made a deal. She said, okay, so I mentor you, but in return, I want you to help my friend who's struggling to find the job, to build the resume and help him find the job. Since I have an experience in HR, I said, fine, let's do it. Let's try doing that. So I met her friend. We built the resume. We did the rehearsal of interviews. And after a while, he got the job offer. I enjoyed that experience so much that I thought, what is it? I want to be doing this on a professional level. You know that in Kyrgyzstan, there are not many career counselors. So I decided to pursue my education as a career advisor, And in 6 months studying abroad, I became one of the first certified career counselors in Kyrgyzstan. In parallel, I started my blog. It doesn't have many followers, but still it's growing. It started growing. People showed genuine interest in this topic of career, situations at work, and etc. So I started having more clients, real clients that paid me real money. And after a year since I quit my job, I had a blog, I had clients, I started delivering speeches at different events, and I felt actually happy. And then one day, I received a message on LinkedIn from the recruitment agency. And they said that one of the large international companies is looking for the head of HR. My first reaction was, no, I'm not going back to corporate. I had a huge burnout, and no thank you. But on the other hand, it was such an amazing opportunity. I would have to lead the whole department, and I've never done that before. And to be honest, I really missed being in a large team. So I gave it a shot, but on one big condition. That's an important message. I told myself, okay, this time I am the top priority for myself, and no matter how things unfold, I will never compromise on my mental well-being. And that's how I got back into the corporate life. After 2 wonderful, successful years as a head of HR here in Kyrgyzstan, I was promoted to the same position as a head of HR in Kazakhstan. So that's how I moved to Almaty a few months ago, and I started my new role. Today, I'm at peace with myself, and I mean it. I love what I do. I enjoy leading my huge HR team. I am financially secure. I travel all around the world. And I have huge and great and bright plans for my future that I hope to accomplish someday. So, now let's switch to the main reasons of burnout. As I said, there are 3 of them, and I hope it will help you. So the first one is the emotional labor. What I mean by that is that when we talk about work-life imbalance, we immediately imagine that we're staying late in the office, doing overtimes, and being physically in the office. But the thing is that emotional labor drains our energy, and we usually forget about it. So you're back from the office, you came home, and you're still thinking about work. You're still planning tomorrow. You're overthinking that misunderstanding that you had with your colleague earlier. You're wondering why your boss set one-to-one meeting for tomorrow. Did I do something wrong? So these thoughts actually draining your energy, and they also, in an excessive amount of them, might lead to the burnout as well. So the reason might be your excessive emotional attachment to your job, and which is fine, but in the normal amount. Normal amount of accountability should not affect your mental health. Another thing is that when we're talking about work-life balance, please ask yourself a question if you actually have life. I'm sure you have work and school, but do you have life? Do you allocate some time to spend time with people that you love? Do you allocate time to do the things that you truly enjoy apart from work? So, do you have the third place? You know the theory of third place. There's a work, there's a home, but you have the third place where you can also enjoy spending your time. So the main message here is that please keep in mind that our life is a sprint. It's not a marathon. And each of us is just a human being, and we have very limited internal resources, and we need to use them wisely, because we still have a very long way to go, hopefully. Now let's switch to the second main reason of burnout, which is excessively high expectations. I hope you could know yourself from this, the perfectionists. These are the high expectations from yourself, which automatically makes you expecting more than usual from others, and you expect a lot from this life. The desire to reach perfection is exhausting. It makes you unsettled and anxious. So there's always a way to do things better. No, better than this, and no, still not perfect enough. So ask yourself a question: do you really need to be the best in everything you do? If yes, then ask yourself why. What's the reason? I have many youngsters coming to my office being desperate that they are not successful enough. They have this constant fear of missing out on something. But in reality, you are not missing out on anything. It's okay if you haven't become a millionaire by the time you're 22. So please be gentle to yourself. Don't rush. And build your own path at your own pace. So the main message here is that please keep setting inspiring and huge dreams. But please don't forget that you're a human being, and please be gentle to yourself. Okay, the third and the last reason of burnout, and I classified them into one. These are the specific conditions of your current workplace. It can be different. If your job is draining you, maybe you're working in a toxic environment. Maybe you're working for a toxic manager. Maybe you just don't love the job that you do. So I want you to be as present as possible here and ask yourself a question: what exactly is making you so miserable? So you might need someone's help here, and it's okay. It can be a coach, a mentor, a therapist, a career advisor at the end of the day. But it has to be someone that you trust and someone who can ask you the right questions so that you understand the problem and build the new career strategy. The main message here that I want to share is that if you are unhappy with your reality, only you are the one to change it. No one will come and change it for you. So, summing this up in conclusion, I would like to say that no matter how terrible your burnout experience is, it is not your enemy. It is not trying to destroy you. On the contrary, it is your friend. It is taking care of you. It's trying to save you and share with you some important message. And your job is to understand what that message is. Maybe you need to change yourself and grow. Maybe it's time to stop and change your negative thinking patterns. Maybe you need to change your profession or a job or a workplace. You need to understand what it is. In any case, you will never be the same after burnout, because burnout is the door to a stronger, wiser, mindful, and more mature version of yourself. And it's the best teacher in life. So, sometimes your biggest failure might turn into your biggest breakthrough. And the last thing that I want to say is that I really want you to be brave, to not be afraid of doing the things that you truly want to be doing, to be open to adventures, to think and dream big, but please learn to prioritize. And always remember of the essence of the balance, because that's what makes our life so diverse and truly beautiful. Thank you.